I see what ho, chaps and chapmates, Scone Chap and Bert here. Yes, Bedales, and I would say we are discussing here tier lists and character standings. That is how good the characters are in the newly released Super Smash Bros. On Nintendo 3DS, you know.
Most certainly, who is good and who is useless?
That's right, old chap. Now, of course, we are basing this information on a recent tournament held over in Japan, and quite a large tournament. Now, as a result of this event, there was produced a tier list, a preliminary tier list of sorts, you know.
Yes, they had a tournament, lots of action going on, lots of fighting, etc., pro players, etc.
That's right.
And then they weighed up all the characters and said, right, who's good and who's bad?
Precisely. Now, of course, because this is a very early tier list, we should not necessarily be setting this in stone just yet, and of course it's very much subject to change as people find new tactics, patches are released, etc. and so forth. But as we stand right now, old chap, where are we?
Well, most certainly, as you say, it is preliminary, but it is based on actual gameplay and analysing of the characters, so we should pay some attention. Now, you'll no doubt all be wondering, well, who is good and who is bad, because I want to play with the character that wins, and it's good.
Exactly.
So, let's look. Now, these are in tiers, I think going from A to E, is that correct?
Yes, A to E.
Yes. Now, in the E's at the bottom there, we have, right at the bottom,
yes,
believe it or not, Palutena and old Ganondorf.
Well, indeed. Now, of course, it may not come as a surprise to see Ganondorf at the bottom, because after all, the bottom of the tier list was his home in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I think Ganondorf's had a bit of a buff since last time. Some of his attacks are faster, he's got a bit of power behind his attacks, but of course, ultimately, he's very, very slow, and so perhaps that's why he's at the bottom. And also, Palutena, despite our initial thoughts, it seems indeed she's just completely useless, you know.
Well, most certainly, Ganondorf, as you say, sluggish and just slugging around. But Palutena, we expected more.
Because, of course, indeed, it seems Palutena is a big, heavy, slow lady. No, not heavy like that, old chap.
No.
You know what I mean,
yes,
right?
I know, yes.
Yes. Now,
so no good.
No, of course.
Well, not as good.
And just above her, in the next category of E, we have Samus, Wii Fit Trainer, Luigi, Kirby, Ike, and Shulk.
Yes, they're all in the E category. They don't rate them. There's problems with it, perhaps too sluggish, not good enough weapons, maybe not ranged weapons, just no good, they're saying.
Well, indeed.
All in the E category.
Speaking of Ike, Ike was a very famous and popular character in Super Smash Bros. Brawl because he was so powerful, but it seems indeed he's taken a bit of a nerf once more, and indeed this also applies to many characters from Brawl that were considered overpowered, including Meta Knight. Now, Shulk fans will of course be disappointed to see he is also in the E tier, along with poor old Samus, the rather bizarre Wii Fit Trainer with her weak attacks, and Luigi. I don't understand why Luigi is so low because he seems quite strong to me, old chap.
Well, most certainly, but he's there nevertheless.
That's right.
Could be his gameplay when he's your longer sort of range attack. I don't know, but he's there.
Now, in the D tier, at the bottom, we have a bit of a controversial one in here, don't we, old chap?
Well, we do, because, you know, what do you expect to be at D? Well, right at the bottom of D is Link.
Link, yes, that's
Link
right.
And his friend Zelda.
Yes, Link and Zelda, of course, were rated quite low in Brawl as well, but the real corker here is Falco. Now, what is Falco doing at the bottom of D tier?
Well, I don't know. Maybe no one played him, or maybe the person that did play him was Eustace. I've just no idea.
In this event, well, maybe.
Yes, they put him as, right down there in D, scoring 6, I think.
That's right, with Ness just behind him. But of course, in Brawl, Falco was a real champ. He was very, very good indeed. He had a nasty little chain grab, etc. and so forth. But it seems indeed in Smash 4, he's taken a terrible nerf of sorts. His attacks have less power, his side B is slower, his laser gun's slower, and he's generally been nerfed in a number of places, although some of his attacks are stronger, I think.
Well, most certainly. So don't go to him if you think you want to win.
We think, old boy.
Oh, yes. Now, category C shall we look at?
No, the next tier in D, old chap.
Oh, the D's. Oh, yes, there's loads of them in there. Well, Dr. Mario's in there as one of them.
No, silly. Jigglypuff's next, old
Oh,
chap.
Jigglypuff. Sorry, yes, Jigglypuff's in there. And who else is
Captain Olimar,
Yes,
Mega Man, and
Mega
of course, Robin the Tactician.
Robin,
now,
yes,
again,
right.
this is surprising. We've got a newcomer Mega Man here in tier D, rather.
Yeah.
And of course, even poor old Robin. I don't think Robin should be D, old chap. It's far too low for him.
He's there nevertheless. We don't know why. It could be some of his moves aren't up to par. We don't know, but he's there.
His friend Lucina's also in tier D, rather, along with Mr. Game & Watch, Charizard, Dr. Mario, and King DDD. This King DDD, quite a brevity, old chap.
Yes, DDD. And Dr. Mario, like I said.
And
I said he was in
Dr.
there,
Yes, that's right. So a lot of characters here have been lumped in with the rest, it seems, in quite a large D tier of sorts. Indeed, the D tier is the largest tier in the game. And of course, to round it all off, we've got two Link Pikachu, whose down B has been seriously nerfed. Marth, again, facing some nerf to his aerials with a bit more lag there. Donkey Kong and Rob.
Yes, so get your notebook out. A, B, C, D, they're the D's and the E's. So presumably you don't want to play with those.
No, that's
Right.
Bit of a shame for Marth fans there, and I'm
Never
sure
mind.
also fans of a certain other character might be disappointed about the C tier standing.
Well, yeah, okay, C or the middle ranges, as it should be, or according to these statistics that have been gathered.
Yes.
Right, we've got at the bottom, well, in C, at the bottom, we've got Baby Bowser.
Bowser Jr.
Bowser Jr., and of course, well, Mario's in there.
But it seems, is this right, Elchap? Mario is ranked above Meta Knight.
Well, that's exactly, now that's what they said. They put him in there. They don't rate him.
Meta Knight has a score of 7 and he's right at the bottom of C tier. Now, this, just to put it in perspective, was a character who had S tier ranking in the previous Brawl game, but now he's at the bottom of C.
Yes, that's where they put him. And of course, just up one, still in the C's, the Villager's in there, along with poor old Princess Peach.
And Pac-Man. Now, indeed, Princess Peach has, I think, a fairly solid stand there in mid-C tier. Of course, she was never hugely powerful in previous games, although she was quite a threat in Brawl, I think. Now, interesting though, above Peach, Pac-Man and the Villager, we have Captain Falcon, who is right at the top of C tier. In other words, they think Captain Falcon is mid to high tier, whereas he was really, really poor in Brawl, you know.
Yes, most certainly. They put him there at the top of C, so it's right in the middle, as it were.
Now, Falcon Punch has been nerfed a bit. It's a tad slower and a bit less powerful, but other moves like his Raptor Boost, his Dash Attack, various jabs and aerials, and of course the Knee of Justice have all been buffed, contributing to a very fast and formidable Falcon in this game.
Yes, yes indeed. And we've also got in that tier, of C,
Diddy
Kong. Yes, that's it, Diddy Kong.
Along with Pit, Dark Pit, and Little Mac. Little Mac, of course, is a very, very dangerous character. He can win with massive power, or if he gets in the air, he's absolutely doomed. So he's very much two sides of a coin, Little Mac. Diddy, meanwhile, can only drop one banana now. So, of course, he's lost his game controlling mechanic, whereas he could drop 2 bananas before. It no longer is the case. But now we're getting into the realms of the big bruisers, old chap.
Yes, or what should be. Now, B's. Now, these should be good. Now, at the bottom of the B tier, we've got the newcomer, the Duck Hunt Dog.
Not the Duck Hunt.
I was going to say the Duck Hunt Duck, but he's not.
The Duck Hunt Duck. Yes. The Duck Hunt, that's right. Now, Duck Hunt is, of course, quite a powerful character. He makes use of projectiles to dominate the battlefield, and indeed, he's a formidable threat in the right hands.
Yes, he most certainly is. Yes, well, that's what they put him there. Now, then we go to the middle range of Bs, and we've got in there Wario as one.
Wario, Fox, and Sonic. Now,
yes.
These returning veterans are, of course, once again strong in this game, particularly Sonic, I think. He's quite a powerful character. Wario, again, has lots of options, and Fox, once more, he seems to be aspiring to his old glory days there in mid-B tier, rather.
Most certainly. So according to those statistics, if you're using these characters, well, you should be better off if you learn them.
That's right. At the top of B tier, we have His Nastiness, Lord Bowser. And, of course, Lucario. Now, Bowser is a very solid choice for this game because of his absolute strength. I dare say, of course, he's been buffed a bit since Brawl. His attacks are all round quite powerful, and it's hard to approach him if you don't have a projectile because he's just a powerhouse of strength.
Most certainly. So that's the B's in there.
But
some
now,
interesting characters.
Next is the A's, old chap. This is the top of the game.
Certainly. Now, these characters here are the ones that they have felt within the tournament were performing the best and, pro for pro player, skill for skill, as it were holding up better against the other players with similar skills.
That's right.
Now, this is A, ranked at 9.3. This is the bottom tier of A. We've got in there Zero Suit Samus as one of them.
Zero Suit Samus, perhaps because of the success of a certain user of Zero Suit Samus at the official Nintendo tournament, and of course because Zero Suit Samus in this game has been buffed. Those new jet boots of hers are not just for show. Of course, one of her moves, the side B paralyzer whip move, has been nerfed, but she has more killing power in her other moves, and if you can land up B, although it's risky, it is a kill at a certain amount of damage percentage, and in fact it's quite low, that percentage.
Well, yes.
Also in there is Greninja, who apparently is quite good at dominating the battlefield using his projectiles,
yes.
but also the Japanese have a way of using him, or so they say, with his up B, which can actually cause gimp kills with no damage sustained.
Most certainly. So they're in there. Maybe they put Samus in there because, well, she hasn't got a suit on and they like it.
Yes, I think
Could be
that's
that.
right.
We don't know, but she's in there.
Now the crowning champions, who are they?
At the top of the A-level tier. So these are the ones that you should be able to use if you're a good player and get better results than someone else has got the other ones who's also a good player.
Yes, that's right.
Now, the one of them in there, the first one, is Yoshi.
Yoshi!
Yes, he's in there. Now, they've rated him highly.
But why is Yoshi in there at the top of the game, Fideos? He is in fact number 2 on the tier list. Well, of course, he's in there because they say he's quite buggy in this game. He has lots of exploitable moves, he's very fast, lots of power behind his attacks, and in the right hands he's a very dangerous force. The same also goes in the number 3 spot with Rosalina and Luma.
Yes.
Now, if you ask me, Rosalina and Luma are quite similar, although the closest thing we have to a snake in this game,
yes.
because of course Luma actually works independently of Rosalina, and if you get Luma's position right, you can use him to deliver lots of damage from afar with smash attacks, etc. and so forth. But that brings us to the absolute unquestioned champ here. And who do our Japanese friends believe to be the champion of Smash, old chap?
Right, now, these people that put this together believe the top category number one in a slot, as it were, of A, is Sheik.
Sheik!
Sheik, yes.
My word!
That's what they said, Sheik.
That was unexpected, old chap.
Well, yes, there we are, that's what they said.
She can no longer transform into Princess Zelda, but of course it seems indeed they have merited her to have enough buffs this time to be the reigning champ. Now, I don't have too much experience either fighting or fighting as Sheik, I must say, but of course in Brawl she was not all that special, although she did have a rather nasty tilt game. Now, it seems indeed that with her new moves there, and perhaps the adjustments to her moveset, maybe her leggy moves have been nerfed or buffed rather a bit,
yes.
Perhaps there's less cooldown, less startup time, etc. and so forth. They really seem to think she can hold her own above the entire rest of the cast. And I must say, poor old Meta Knight must be sulking in his corner, old chap.
Well, I think he must be. So what you've got to do really is go along, take these top characters if you want to, or the top tier ones, and say, right, if I've been getting on badly with my other characters, get rid of them, train up with these, and see if you get better results. Because they're saying they're the best.
Now the question is, will you be taking Sheik into battle and trying to prove your worth, or will you not forget poor old Ganondorf and Palutena who are at the bottom of the sack and try to prove they can actually win?
Well, I suppose you could have 5 matches with one and 5 matches with the other.
Yes, and see how you get on, old chap.
Well, I suppose you could do, yes, but they're saying, look, we're the professionals, we've done all this tournament stuff, and that's what we think.
But remember, Fideos, even though this tier list exists, it's still too early to say for sure whether it's accurate, and of course, in the right hands, any character can be very deadly. You might have someone using Sheik, the supposed best character, against a pro player using Ganondorf, and the Ganondorf can actually win. It all depends on how skillful the player is.
Exactly, so there we are. Your player skills from A to E. The good ones and the bad ones.
Yes, that's right. What do you think? Is this list baloney? Who are you disappointed about seeing taking a tumble? Who do you think deserves more of a buff? Is Falco where he should be? By George, videos, do let us know what you think, I say.
Yes, this whole video could transform the gameplay of millions of players all across the world, turning them into champions.
Sheiks, old chap. Does that mean we're going to see loads and loads of Sheiks now, old boy?
It could be, yes. With Sheiks everywhere, and they all come on blame Game Cap and Bertie for it.
Great Scott, old man. It's a frightful thought. There you go, videos. Join us again for more exciting Smash Brothers news, I say. We look forward to seeing you once more. Until then.